Hi guys, I wanted to come to you today and let you know about 20 books that I want to try to get through in 2020. Two of them I don't have. One, I've lent a friend and she is reading it. I always buy the Janet Evanovich books. I bought last year's version of the Janet Evanovich book. I can't remember what number it was, and I never read it. I don't know why. I'm not sure why I didn't read it. I think I was so much into diamond painting I didn't get it. And then it came out this year, and I've had problems with my neck, my pinched nerve. It is getting better. It's so much better that only the tip right here hurts right now. It doesn't hurt. It's numb. And I often forget that my hand's even messed up now. So, unless I think about it. So I want to try to read some books that I have purchased in the last couple of years. I've gotten some from the dollar store. I've gotten some that are on sale. I've gotten some from Amazon that I've wanted to read. I started some of them and I got back into the habit of looking down like I did when I was diamond painting, and my neck started hurting, so I had to stop reading them again. So I'm trying to let my neck heal as much as possible. I'm still trying to lift things and whatnot, not mattresses, but I have done some decluttering in my house and carried things out to my car this weekend. So I am using this arm and it is getting stronger and everything. But this year I want to try to get through 20 books. If I can get through at least 12 of them, I will be a very happy camper. But there's 20 of them. So the last two books from Janet Evanovich's Stephanie Plum series, that's two books that I want to try to get through. So that's the first two. This one I found at the dollar store, and it's called it's called Looking for Me by Beth Hoffman. And it sounds like an interesting book. It's about a lady who has a passion for furniture that is broken down and left by the side of the road, and she puts it back together, restores it, and she has an antique shop. And I thought this sounded really neat, and so I just got it. It was $1, so I loved that. I love to read that. And then I got this one because it's a #1 New York's Times bestseller, and it's All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I'm not sure if that last name's right or not. And it's a Pulitzer Prize winner, so I want to try to read that. It is a thick one, and it's little bitty words. Way, that's gonna be fun. Here's another New York Times bestseller. The Only Street in Paris, Life on the Rue de les Martyrs by Elaine Ciano. I don't know. I'm going to butcher the whole thing. So I want to try to get through that one. They sounded like good books when there's a picture in there. Even better. It's got pictures. That's going to help. But I know I've wanted to read all these books because they sounded good at the time, so I'm not sure what all of them are about. And blue books make me turn orange. So, lovely. We're going to have an orange video today. The Demi Moore book, Inside Out. I want to get through this one. I am on, I think, chapter 7. She's just met Bruce Willis. I think they've gone to meet her parents or something in this book right here, and that's as far as I've got. I might be about halfway through it, I think. So this one shouldn't take me that long. It is very interesting, but this is one of them I started reading, could not put down, and ended up hurting my neck. Got it sore, and my arm started messing up. And the other one that I did that one with, let me get this one out, and it's on the bottom. This is like Jenga, and yep, the books are going to fall. The other one I want to get through is Admiral William H. McCraven, he is was the Navy SEAL. He was over JSOC, which is over all the guy over all special forces. And he has a book called Sea Stories, My Life in Special Operations. And he also has a book that's called Make Your Bed, and he did it as a speech. This is him right there. He did it as a speech at University of Texas, I think it was. I think that's where he's from. But I've read that much of it, and once again, I messed my neck up, and I had to stop. So now I know I have to get pillows, and I have to look straight on. But at the time, I don't pay attention to what I'm supposed to be doing. This one I got at the dollar store, and I thought it just sounded like it was the funniest thing ever. And it's called The Grand Tour, a novel by Adam O'Fallon Price. And it's about a guy who is a Vietnam vet, and he was a writer. And he goes on a book tour, and he has one fan, one young fan, and he decides to drive him, and it sounds like it's going to be pretty freaking funny. It says, abidingly funny, smart, and moving road novel about two hapless lost souls, an alcoholic Vietnam vet turned best-selling author and his awkward, shy college student superfan, who form an unlikely connection on the world's most disastrous book tour. So it sounds like this one will be funny, and I've wanted to read this one since I got it in the last year, and hopefully it will be funny, so we'll see. This one, I know I got it back when Ingrid Nilsson, she talked about this a year or so ago, and I bought it. I started reading it, and I never finished it, so I definitely want to start over and read it. And it's called Heads in Beds, a reckless memoir of hotel, hostels, and so-called hospitality by Jacob Tomsky. And what I read in it was pretty funny. The first time I tried to get started, I don't even know where I was at when I did it, but I know I didn't finish it, so I definitely want to get through that one. This one I got through the first chapter on it, and I put it down. I keep doing that, buying these books, and so this year I'm going on a budget, and I want to get through with things that I already have instead of buying more. Stop and use what you have. So this one's called, it's Essays and it's Southern Lady Code, and it's by Helen Ellis, and it's a New York Times best-selling author of The American Housewife. And the first story in there was freaking hilarious. It was about a girl went on a date with something on the back of her coat in New York City. It was classic. So I definitely want to get through that one. Here's another one. This one, I got this one at the dollar store, and it's Hotels of North America, a novel by Rick Moody. And I think it's going to be kind of like the Heads in Beds kind of deal. So I definitely want to try to read that. And it doesn't look like it'll be that difficult to read. So yeah, I definitely want to try that one. And then this guy, I've liked his book, and his name is A.J. Jacobs, and I got it for 50% off plus an extra 10 at Barnes & Noble. But the one that I read of his, which was hysterical, he goes, like, for a whole year, and the first book he had was The Year of Living Biblically, and he tried to live every way biblically for a year. And his wife, she kind of thinks he's, you know, a nut, and but he is freaking hilarious. And this one, it's all relative, and he has several more books. I can't remember what they are, but everything I've read from his is hysterical. Just because he does this, he goes to extremes. Oh yeah, one of his books is Drop Dead Healthy, My Life as an Experiment, The Year of Living Biblically, and The Know-It-All. So I think that was when he went through encyclopedias. But this one's called It's All Relative, Adventures Up and Down the World's Family Tree. So I definitely want to read this one because he is freaking hilarious. I think I did start this one and put it down a long time ago. I'm notorious for doing that. Except for Janet Ivanovich books. When I pick them up, I try to read them all the way through, and yeah, it's crazy. Another one that I bought, never read it, was Anna Kendrick's Scrappy Little Nobody. And I think that picture is so adorable. But I really like her as an actress, so I wanted to read that, and I don't think it'll be a very difficult book to read. So I think it's little stories all put together, so definitely wanted to read that one. You all know I love SEAL Team. I have the JSOC guy. He was a Navy SEAL. And this is the Modern American Snipers by Chris Martin with Special operationsforcerep.com. I don't know. He is the From the Legend to the Reaper on the Battlefield with Special Operations Snipers. So I definitely want to read this one. SEAL Team is one of my favorite shows, and so I definitely want to read through that too. I got this one last year, or in 2019, and never have started it. I've seen interviews about it, but it's called Educated, and it's by Tara Westover. And her father was a radical person, and she never was educated, but now she has, she's been across continents. She went to Harvard and Cambridge University, and I think this will just be a very intriguing book. So I just have to sit down and get these things read. And some of this stuff I bought when I was still diamond painting, and then when I got my pinched nerve, and so that's why a lot of these are still sitting here. One of them that I definitely want to read, and I've wanted to read it for a long time but never have, I think I started it, was the Bobby Kennedy, A Raging Spirit by Chris Matthews. I definitely want to read this, and just the people saluting him. I definitely want to read this. I think this one will be a good book. So definitely want to read that. And then I have Becoming by Michelle Obama. I think I've heard this is a really good book, and so I don't know much about her other than she was the first lady. So I wanted to at least read this and see what I thought of it. So I thought this would be a really good book. And so then this lady, I found her to be very hilarious in life. She was something else. And it's called The Matriarch, and it's Barbara Bush. And Barbara Bush and the Making of an American Dynasty. And she was something to be reckoned with, it said. Her son, George W. Bush, I guarantee you he was a handful, and he said he was a handful. But she lost a daughter when she was like 5. I think the little girl was 5. And the next day her hair turned white, and she never dyed her hair again. I have heard that story. So she said she thought it was God's way of, you know, if she went white-headed the next day, that obviously had to do something with God. So I think this will be a very entertaining book. I've heard really funny stories about this lady, so I definitely, somebody says right here, it says she didn't suffer fools. So you always had this kind of fear that she was going to tell somebody off. So I love that, and I really want to read this book because she seems like she would have been a case. So definitely want to read that one as well. And then I have 2 more here. One of them is a bestseller, and it's Paris in Love by Eloisa James. And it looks like I've started reading it, but I never finished it. I don't remember it, so we're going to try it one more time. So I have that one. And the last one I have here is The Occasional Mortifications of a Serial Wedding Guest, Save the Date by Jen Dahl. So I guess she's always a wedding a wedding guest. Lord, that's going to be hilarious. So, I wanted to try to put some things that I could learn from, some more serious things with some more fun things, kind of intermingle them in there. I love biographies. I love funny things. I love things about special ops, Navy SEALs. I have another book that was in there. I think he's a Ranger. So those are the things I like to read about, like your special operators, funny books, and memoirs. And I don't care what political affiliation they are or anything like that. I just like knowing about people and what make people who they are. So I'm going to try to get through these, and so at the end of 2020, let's hope I can say that I've gotten through them all. But let's just be lucky with 12. So, I might need to start reading now before the year even hits. But I just wanted to let you know what I wanted to go through. If you're trying to go through some books, let me know down below. And if you've read any of these books, you like them, you don't like them, don't spoil the story. But let me know what you thought of them as well. I always like to know what you guys are thinking. And then if you've seen any of these, you've read them, and you have other authors that you think I would like to pick books up from when I get through this, then let me know, and I will definitely write those down and try them, and try to find them at a used bookstore or a Goodwill or a garage sale or something like that. And, but not right now. I got enough books. I got 20 of them here. And there's other books over here in this chair that didn't even make the cut. So, I guess they'll have to go in another year. And I did send a bunch to the Goodwill the other day that I'm like, I'm never going to read this book. So, and then there's 3 of them here that, are under this that are a great camera holder that's been there for, I don't know how many years now. So, those are the books I want to get through. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, please do. I would love to have you here, and I will see you guys in my next video. Have a good day. Bye.